Hello, good evening. Wabobye, Wabavan, Wabota. This is Nosaduk Ezeka. Today we have some interesting topic I'd like us to talk about. Meanwhile, let me play some music before we start. Yeah. So then I try to share it. Wabi show, wabi guy. Invite friends and family.
Wakami kore o, wali mewale buko. Wakami kore o, wali mewale buko. Onawe na ebe o, aye buse aye, ruti di ma bebe so.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Nice to see everybody. That is a very strong word. Oh, good evening. Nice to see you, Cash Madam. I remember this music. Yeah. It's a nice music. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Let's talk about our ancestors today. Just try and share, invite people, invite friends and family. Yeah, this is old school. Hello, good evening. It's very important we have a big understanding of what ancestors really are. Abota, Yunis, Abota, Koza Che. Good evening. Very nice story. I don't even sorry. You must can talk about that. We are dealing more on spiritual relationship. We have already a hero in our son can take us to the historical side. We follow the Yes, it's a nice song, very nice, and hold also. Holdiness. That's okay. Yeah, let's. Maybe it can be played on the background. Good evening, everybody. You are all welcome. This soul expression, this is the first time we are doing it on this platform. So today we felt like, let's do it here so we carry some more people along. And today's topic is, do we worship ancestors? And how or why is it necessary to stay connected to our ancestors? Because a lot of things has been going on. Since the past 500 years, humanity have completely shifted into a different dimension, and these things have completely started disconnecting the human family. Good evening. These things have completely started disconnecting the human family from their real essence. So our job now, our duty now, is to come and reintegrate this ancient system back to humanity. Reintegrating it or reintroducing it does not really mean now we have to leave and push away all these new things. It simply means that we are tapping into the ancient knowledge of our ancestors and using it to manipulate and profit from this present knowledge we have at hand now. That is what all wise people around the earth are doing. So far, the people that is very backward in this are those you can classify as the Africans. We are not Africans, but let's take that name they used to classify us. Africans are the only group now on earth who completely, not everyone, but 90%, completely believe that they have to adopt a foreign lifestyle in order for them to be educated, in order for them to be civilized, in order for them to grow. And that thought right there of we abandoning everything we have, still dancing to that music. Yeah, it's very nice music, and with the special drums, those special drums. So that thought right there of we disconnecting from what we had, that thought right there was planted. That thought right there was created. You can argue it that at that moment you are having that thought, nobody came to whisper into your ears and say, think it like this. But what you have to know that thoughts, it's something that can be influenced due to the reality and the society you live in. So thought is not just something that just come from nowhere. Yes, we know there are divine voices. Those ones are fresh and brand new. But some basic thoughts are being influenced by the society and how it's being structured. So for you to think that the way of your ancestors is demonic, the way of your ancestors is evil, is bad, is nothing you have to do with, that thought right there have a base. And the base of that thought was being created so that whatever that will come out from there will become this thought you have now. I will try to explain it in a very simple way. What I'm trying to say here is this. A lot of things was being demonized. And this demonization come from the psychological warfare that the whole of Africans are really going through. And for this psychological warfare for one side to have upper hands, for them it was very necessary to make you not see anything good in what you do, to make you not see anything important in what you do, to make you not see your own self in what you do. That's why it was also very important for them to present God to you in a color that is different from your skin. I'm not here to talk about God or whatnot, but what I'm here to try to show you is the psychological warfare you are in, and how it has shaped how you think, and how you think has created now the reality you are living in. This is what we are doing this evening. So people always think, those people always call their ancestors. They always say ancestors. Benin will say Enikao. So are they worshiping ancestors? Are they serving idols? Or is this not fetish? You know, with different type of education and spiritual orientation we have now today, all this was designed to really disconnect us from the main source. So we become like dependent on something which we don't really have a real clue about. Yes, it can still work for us. Yes, it can still open a way for us, because that act of believing make us put energy also there. But what I was expecting you to use local language since you have been. It doesn't matter. This is not the time of say use local language or not use local language. This is the time to make the message go around so deep. Obviously, local language have a joy. Many of our children cannot even hear the same language. So all this is what we are talking about now. First, we have to create a knowledge base, and then we can build whatever we want on it. Why I expect here so ebo no we ebo ni maya reaching, and when we have reached them so deep with that same English, then from there we cannot take their hands back home. If you cannot reach them, you cannot communicate with them. So this is not really about Zedo or Zebo or Zona. What's important is key all you talk. Ask person, if you cannot hear, ask questions. This is what's really important now. So what I'm trying to show you here today is that Africans has always been in a psychological warfare. Now it's becoming more obvious to many of us. Some are becoming awoke when it comes to religion, politics, and different things. But right now, what do we really need to pay attention to? We have to pay attention to those things that was destroyed, those things that was breaking down. Because if we don't fix the missing link, we can't expect to grow, because it has to be drawing each other together. One side don't have to break, and the other side cannot go nowhere when it's breaking into two. Oh yeah, the head side can do but later she still die. So it needs all of ourselves to completely be ourselves. So when we talk about our ancestors, what are we really talking about? What are they trying to explain to us? When you hear a old man or a old woman, we say, enikao. When you hear them using those words, what are they really trying to relate to you? What are they trying to make you understand? It is time we start breaking it down, because the new generation now have absolutely no contact with what we really have. And those that have the contact, majority, have not really taken their time to really explain it. So because of no really awareness of what it is, because of no really awareness of what they are really talking about, so it becomes some kind like a very like a room full of shadow. And because nothing is bright over there, nobody pay attention to that side anymore. And at the same time, we are all busy trying to bring out the best in our land, trying to bring out the best in ourselves, but yet we are always missing that link. We are always disconnecting from that true nature. So what I want to first explain to everyone now is, we as a people known as humans, what we are is just far more than being born and being grown up as this man that we are. We are something very extraordinary great. We are something very, very powerful. We have something that humans don't really even have the right word. Good evening everyone. That humans don't really even have the right word to explain it. So really paying attention to, okay, who are the ancestors? Do we worship them? And why should we even stay connected? Why should we care? Why should we care about them? These are very important. Why? When you take the word ancestors, or let's use Enikaho, just use a Bini meaning, like a Bini dictionary to translate it. Enikaho. In another way, those ahead of you, those in front of you, those that have seen it, those that have been exposed, those that it has been revealed to. Enikaro Noma, Enikao Nima, those that has been ahead, those that has been has seen the mystery. So when we talk about ancestors, we are talking about your own blood, your own brother, your own sister, your own father, your own mother that has departed from this realm. I will stop it there. Let's start. What realm are we now? We are in a 3D illusion. We are in a physical realm where everything is created out of matters and colors, and these things is playing a lot of role here. We are in a realm where pain, stress, and everything is going on. We are in a realm where you have to walk as a man before you can eat. We are in a realm where what you think and what you do, actions you do, everything comes back to you. So we are in a kind of a feed. We are in a kind of a feed, trying and working hard to be what we believe that we are. This is the realm we are now. So when we now talk about Enikao, we are not talking about those that have succeeded this realm, this cycle, this dimension, this path that we have. Those that have gone through it, master it, understand the science, the art, the craft. They have understand all this, and then they have ascended. They have kind of like come out of this cycle. So because they have come out from this cycle, yes, your religious doctrine might tell you where they are after you leave this cycle. Right now, I want you to walk with me with a free mind. Put your religious understanding aside. Put your spiritual orientation aside. Let's use our own free mind now to paint this board we have right here. So now your ancestors, they have departed from here. Okay, fine. Now they have departed from here. You are here. So how do you even get here? That's where the first question starts from. Because why? You know very well the day you come out from your mother's womb. That's the day they call your birthday. Your birthday. I call it Earth Day. That's the day you call your birthday. And your own mother can tell from the week or from the month, she starts feeling that sense of being pregnant of you. Or feeling that sense of being pregnant of you. Okay, fine. So your mother is aware. Please hold on first, you can come back soon. Your mother is aware from the moment or from the month she started getting pregnant. So from that moment, from the day she deliver you, which some babies spend 9 months, some spend more, some spend less. Okay, fine. From that day she deliver you now, automatically now you start as a human, what we now call human. They call you first the baby. Okay, fine. What happened to that life that transported his or herself into that womb? Where is that source coming from? Yes, many of you can say God. Yes, many of you can have different understanding already of what you believe and where you believe all this life and energy come from. But yeah, today we are not trying to put it in like a argument or conflict. We are trying to keep the surface balance without no religious doctrine or spiritual mythology. Put it all together so it makes sense for everybody. Okay, for that life to have transported herself into that womb, and that thing now develop into what we now call baby, which your mother gave birth to. Fine, let's stop there. Let's go back to before that womb. Where is that life coming from? Because why? The same your mother who is giving birth to you now, she have to have traveled that same journey. She was also a very small little baby. Okay, before your own mother, the grandmother the same journey, the great grandmother the same journey, the great grandfather the same journey. Okay, fine. I'm not taking you back now to where they come from. Let's just stop at that awareness alone, that your own mother have a grandmother, and that grandmother have a great grandmother, and that great grandmother have another great grandmother. Fine. Automatically we have like 5 steps before you. Listen very good so you can follow me. Now we have 5 steps before you. Fine. Now that your great grandfather lived all his or her life here and then depart. It doesn't matter if you believe it as death or not. It's not relevant at this moment. Okay, now the great grandmother spent her time here and she go. The great grandmother the same thing, then she go. The grandmother the same thing, then she go. Now the mother is doing the same thing, now she go. Now it's you. So now let's hold on. Let's stay with you now. Fine, we saw the steps that come before you, and now we saw another steps going before you. So now you are like in the middle of a pyramid. You are like in the bottom of that valley right now. So that valley you are now, when you look here, you can see where you come from. And when you look here, you can see where you're going, even if you don't know what's behind this and you don't know what's behind this. So for you to keep yourself balanced now, those energies, those spirits, those people that have departed now, your communication with them and the communication with what is coming here is what can really hold you balanced. You can even spring up with it. That's why we're not talking about spiritual equilibrium. Because why? When you now have that awareness and understanding that, good evening, nice to see you. I greet you too. Good evening, everyone. So when you now have that awareness that those that have come before you have departed now into another realm. Now it doesn't matter if you know what the realm is or not. Now we are following a play energy here. I don't want to take it too deep, so let's stay on the surface. So now that you know now that they have gone into another realm, and you are very aware this was the step, so now this is also the step. How can you know if this is also the step? They told you you have a great grandmother. Where is she? She's gone. They told you you have a great grandfather. Where is she? She's gone. They told you you have a grandfather. Where is she? She's gone. Where did they go? You don't know. Where did they come from? You don't know. But you know they were born. Now they left. So automatically it means now that there is a mystery place something is coming from, and there is another mystery place something is going. I'm trying to keep it in a very low surface, just in case of those who have absolutely no spiritual orientation. So fine, since they are coming from somewhere and they are going somewhere, and you are in the middle of that valley right now, use your common sense. Don't you think it's nice and wise to listen to something from here and listen to something from here, so you can have a complete understanding of what is going on right here? Exactly. That's exactly what our ancestors did for us. We'll say our ancestors, that is exactly what they did. They now have to find out that, okay, life does not just stop here in this physical realm. There is something beyond this place. There is something ahead of here. Because why? My great-grandfather came. I saw him as a baby. And now I am a man. He's not here. Now he's gone. You see, it's like a passage. They come and they go. So what did our ancestors now did? They now tried their best to make sure they understand how the science, the universe, the energy that is governing everything around this earth, they now try to understand how it really functions and how to really connect with that world that is not being seen with your original eyes, with that world that you cannot touch with just the hands. So because of the way, because of how deep your knowledge is when it comes to this spirituality, they now understand that we are not just here. We also have a family. We also have a soul. We also have a soul. And this our Ehi, Benina call it Ehi. This soul is also having our own family. And this whole family is also attached to a kind of a soul tribe. And this soul tribe is kind of also attached to a society. Or when I say society, I mean like, just imagine it like a kingdom. So they got to go deep into all these studies before they could understand this. And from the moment they start understanding this, that is where they now try to create a kind of ancestral, a kind of ancient way of communication. It's just like telepathy. It's just like you are making a telegraph, but in a very kind of a different way. Because why? This email, these messages they want to send now is not going around in this dimension, it's going beyond. So those things make them now have understanding of how energies around them work. That's why you see some people all these are different chemicals, animals that carry different type of energy that really allow them to be able to access this kind of a quantum realm or a spiritual realm or astral plane, which all these things exist. So when we talk about a Nikao, who we are referring to first are the elders. The first elders who was first year. They are far much older than the ones that later departed. So those ones are like the first elders. I like to call them the 24 elders. Those ones are the first elders who was here, who now master the spiritual world. Now got to understand that, okay, in the spiritual world, whether God or whatever you believe create the spiritual world, at this moment is not so relevant. But what they understand is this: in that spiritual world, regardless of what creates it, so whether you call it heaven, fire, at this moment is egal. So regardless what creates it, our ancestors have found a way to protect and kind of safeguard our tribes. So all tribes now have their own camp. You can call it like a camp. I will explain it again. So imagine the spiritual world as a big ocean. So in this ocean there are big boats, there are big ships, and in each of these sheep belongs to different tribes and different group. And as long as you can make your way and swim towards that sheep, you can climb on board. So this is exactly how now this astral plane is now being structured. So regardless whether you believe it's God or it's not, those one come later. But what we can see first now is what we have now in our hands. So when you connect with the ancestors now, what are you doing? You are helping yourself to keep the track, to keep the lane open. So when you always connect with your ancestors, you always follow the nature of life. When we say the nature of life, let me make that aspect clear. It doesn't mean everything your ancestors was doing, you must repeat everything. What we really talk about when we say connect with ancestors mean really having knowledge of yourself, just like your native language. Speak your native language. Speak your language with your wife. Speak your language with your children. Speak your language with your children. Because some people don't really understand what we mean by connecting with ancestors. They think you have to just always carry the picture of the ancestors. You knock something, go, you call him, then he appears. It's not like that. It's deeper than that. So to start building relationship with your ancestors is something like you meet a woman. Just like a man meets a woman, there is a process of intimacy. First, you have to get to know each other. Second, you have to impress her or she have to impress you. Depends on the energy and the relationship. That is how you keep on building that intimacy. Keep on building. Now, so now get respect for this platform. So that's how you keep on building things and everything. That is exactly how it is when you are building intimacy with the ancestors. Because it's not really all about to just say, the ancestors are demonic, the ancestors are evil, so because of that we don't need them, all we just need is God. Fine, take that word God and say that is just what you need. It is really obvious to you that you have a